Okay, Distance Dave here. We've talked a lot about patience in the stroke, about how to start implementing front quadrant timing. Today, I do want to talk a little bit about the power side, and it's very important for this that I get a video demonstration because it's very different, and it's hard to describe in words to get the right kind of angles. I'm assuming in the stroke that we're going to be building up front quadrant timing, that the layout front, so the shift of weight comes primarily from the drive of the hip, through the obliques, into the outside with a shift of weight up top. That's the source of rotation, so I don't need to pull on this arm early to make rotation happen. Now, the other thing that's going to help with a true front quadrant stroke, it's not just about how long you wait out front, it's also the strategy of the arm that's starting to come back. As it comes off, it's important that it angles to find good propulsion that doesn't injure the shoulder, that doesn't work on small muscles. So for that high elbow catch, what we're working on is making sure as you roll off that you work with an even perpendicular early in the cycle of the stroke. We don't want to slowly pull back and find it on the way down. As we're going through here, what we want to do is have a slight hinging motion when the rotation happens there. This arm, the lead arm, is going to simply bend at the elbow, and that does depend on the arm not being across the middle. It does depend on the elbow not being dropped under that way, or else you will drop through like that and just pull on the hand. To find that strong hook, what we want to do is keep it on the outside with a slight turn of the elbow, that 10-degree trick we've talked about before, and when we hit the right moment of the stroke, we're going to drive from there and hinge on the first moment, setting up this true perpendicular. The fact that you can't see my elbow right now because it's perpendicular to the view. When you get into that, the next challenge is that you are much stronger closer into the body than you are out at the hand. Have somebody hold back on you and push down through here, push down through here. Because we've got access to so much more strength in here, and it's closer in than that long lever out there, we want to make sure that we manage this without dropping that arm, without dropping the elbow. Because if I'm stronger here, that will come back faster. We want to hold that perpendicular to get the most propulsion out of it all the time. So once you've hooked in, focus on maintaining this perpendicular by how much press you can put in through here. Keep the fingertips relaxed a little bit. Okay, don't cup it, because if you cup it, you're losing some surface, and if you put ultimate tension in there, it'll curve back up. So hook it around. I like to think of it as fusing from elbow all the way up to the knuckles and hit that anchoring position to press it right through. If this is done correctly, what you're going to find is it does create a slight curve to an observer of the stroke. To the swimmer themselves, it should feel pretty much straight back. But if you notice right now, to your view right now, I've got a narrow distance between my shoulders. As I rotate, it widens and then narrows. So that's the top hook of a curve. As I come through, press and release at the back, gives me a bottom curve. That long, gentle curve is the S that's been talked about, but the swimmer should not be feeling a conscious wiggle in and out unless you want to really rip up the rotator cuff. Okay, so there are main points on this. Front quadrant timing provides the opportunity for this to happen. It can't be done on its own. You can't be over the arm trying to get that twist in there. You've got to wait until something else is rolling you off. Once you're in there, we've got to manage it so that we can maintain that exact perpendicular surface by how much strength you've got in there, not how much you can simply put through, or you'll lose the grip and have an ineffective downward push. And then don't worry about the curve. It'll happen naturally on its own if you're timing the rotation correctly. Any curve you're doing is providing indirect tension in the wrong directions, and you're going to do some naughty things to your shoulder. So, some things to work on in practice this week. Good luck.